We've got a Fox News alert for you. A shooting has occurred at YouTube, its California headquarters. The shooter apparently is a woman. Fox's Claudia Cowan is standing by with new information on what happened. Claudia?
Yes, and we just got a press update from the police chief here in San Bruno. Good evening, Tucker. Just a horrific scene here today at the headquarters of YouTube after a shooter opened fire inside the facility during the lunch hour. This incident left 4 victims injured. They are now being treated at local hospitals. Police say they also found a woman they suspect was the shooter dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Officers just announcing that they have completed their intensive search of this massive facility and don't think there are any other suspects or victims. Police say they have recovered a handgun. Now, it's possible this may have been the result of a domestic dispute. Police have not yet confirmed that, but witnesses say they saw a woman take aim at a man who may have been her boyfriend before turning the gun on herself. Now, the names of the suspected shooter and the victims have not yet been released. We understand one man is in critical condition, but it is unclear whether he was the intended target. Tucker, this investigation is just now getting underway, but obviously a very tragic and a very scary day here in San Bruno at YouTube headquarters. Back to you.
Horrifying. Claudia, thank you. Female shooters do exist, but they are much rarer than male shooters. What do we know about the profile of the suspect in this case, who apparently has died? Chad Jenkins is a former FBI special agent, and he joins us tonight. Chad, how often have you seen something like this in the course of your career?
Well, Tucker, it's an anomaly. I mean, typically when you see especially a single active shooter, the overwhelming statistic is that it will be a male. So we did have this San Bernardino terrorist attack. However, that was a husband-wife team. So typically you don't see a female in an active shooter role.
So the suggestion at this hour, and these things are dynamic and we may know something very different soon, but that this was what police are describing as a domestic incident. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it means most likely workplace violence or some type of relationship gone awry in which she decided to attack at the workplace. But really, for the viewers at home, we need to really hone in that this can happen anywhere, and we as American citizens need to be prepared for this type of atrocious act to happen and have a mental plan set forth. That's the day in which we live. We cannot rely upon law enforcement or security personnel for our safety, unfortunately.
Well, that's certainly the lesson of recent shootings, for sure. This took place at YouTube, part of Google, one of the biggest companies in the world. How hard would it be to get a firearm into a building like that?
Well, if the individual knew the security protocols already in place, we've already heard that there was security at this facility. Right. But you can't predict the unpreventable or the unpredictable. You can only plan for. So if a person has a will, they'll find a way to conduct this. That's why we need to really stress that individual citizens need to have a plan to go to in these horrific events.
So the initial accounts of what happened in the building suggested that there might have been an ideological or religious motivation. Obviously can't endorse that, don't know if that's true. Do we know any more about that?
At this time, I have not heard a motive being given by the local law enforcement. I'm sure FBI is helping in the investigation, witness interviews, things of that nature. But I have not heard what the motive was behind this perpetrated attack.
Yeah, well, there's a lot we don't know, but we'll continue to follow the story as it develops. Chad, thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.
Gunfire at YouTube.
Chaos at YouTube headquarters in Northern California. Dozens of law enforcement swarmed the campus after a woman opens fire. Good evening, everyone. This is CBS 2 News at 5.
We begin with that breaking news out of Northern California, a shooting at the YouTube headquarters in San Bruno.
One person is dead and at least 3 others were wounded. CBS 2's Crystal Cruz is live in the newsroom. She's been following the developments and she has the very latest for us right now. Crystal?
Pat and Suzanne, a very frightening scene for employees and people nearby. San Bruno police say the woman who died is believed to be the shooter. Right now, 2 other women and 1 man are being treated at the hospital. And a law enforcement source tells CBS News that wounded man is believed to be the suspected shooter's boyfriend. Police say this all started around 12:45 after several shots were fired at the outdoor cafe on YouTube's campus. Employees began fleeing after someone pulled the fire alarm. Local and federal agents cleared the area and are scouring the scene right now. Witnesses shared what they saw.
Man, it was just like 2-3 shots. And then like within 30 seconds after that, or 40 seconds after that, then I seen the girl running out. And then she was shot in the leg. Then the other people that were behind me, they opened the doors, let her in, pulled her in, and they grabbed a bunch of nappies. So I come back and I checked on the girl. Then after I checked on the girl, she all right? She, yeah, she got shot in the leg.
And a lady actually came and went into the Carl's Jr. and she'd actually been shot in the foot. That was right about the time police were starting to come in, and the next thing you know, the police came from every direction.
Google's CEO released a note to employees which reads in part, "I am especially thankful to the first responders and our own security team who acted so quickly to keep people safe. I know a lot of you are in shock right now. Over the coming days, we will continue to provide support to help everyone in our Google family heal from this unimaginable tragedy." Police have not released the identity of the woman found dead, who they again believe is the shooter. They believed she died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. A fourth person who was also injured, police say that person was not shot, but instead injured their ankle while running from the scene. Pat and Suzanne, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Crystal. And you can only imagine what news of the shootings must have been like for YouTube employees here in L.A.
For sure. CBS 2's Joy Benedict is live at the YouTube offices in Playa Vista. Joy.
Yeah, guys, I mean, it's an unimaginable thought to think of in a workplace shooting anywhere, but when it is your own company, it made a very tough decision for many employees here behind me to decide whether to stay or to go. Now, you can see the sign on the front door just simply reads reception closed, as most employees chose to do that, and that is leave. Take a look at this video from shortly after the shooting. You can see folks were already gone. Lights in the offices closed, just a few security guards running around here on the campus, and they simply said no comment when we asked exactly what was going on. But this is YouTube Space LA. It is a 41,000 square foot facility that is used for production. It's got green screens and production rooms and camera equipment and editing equipment for YouTubers who have more than 2,000 subscribers on their page. They can come here, they can make their YouTube videos. So a lot of the people coming in and out are not full-time employees, but for those who do work here full-time, they got the notice after the shooting that they can choose to either stay or go.
No, they didn't send anyone home. People chose, people went home if they wanted to go home, but people stayed. I stayed because I had work to do.
And we did see a few people who did make that choice, but they say obviously their thoughts and prayers are with everyone with Google up in Northern California, but they're sort of focusing on what's going on right now. But guys, I mean, in the moment that happens, when you hear there's a shooting and you don't know all the specifics yet, of course, many of the folks here just didn't want to take any chances, and that's very understandable.
All right, thank you, Joy. And President Trump tweeted, "Was just briefed on the shooting at YouTube's headquarters in San Bruno, California. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone involved. Thank you to our phenomenal law enforcement officers and first responders who are currently on the scene." Stay with CBS 2 News and CBSLA.com for the very latest on the shooting at the YouTube campus in San Bruno.
Upon arrival, officers encountered numerous employees fleeing from the building. It was very chaotic, as you can imagine. We did encounter one victim with an apparent gunshot wound towards the front of the business as we arrived. We have 2 females and 1 male. The females are ages 32. That patient is in serious condition. We have a 27-year-old female in fair condition. And we have a 36-year-old male who is in critical condition. The investigation is still ongoing before we can put all the pieces together.